as soon as a truth was embodied by the mob, it was no longer a truth. The truth was in and of itself something that was always manifested at the level of the individual.
People know this they know this in their own lives, that you have wisdom on your own, you go into a group and you compromise that wisdom for some reason. Social norms, or the way you've dealt with past traumas, or the things that you think other people want to hear from you.
That's diffusion of responsibility, right? Because when you're buried in the mob, you can do and say things that the mob hides from you in the world. Whereas if you're just operating on your own, the consequences of your actions are manifested pretty quickly.
No place to hide.
So we have to keep, every group of people isn't a mob either. I mean, there are groups of people that are decentralized, highly functioning aggregates, hierarchies composed of individuals. And that's working at every level of analysis. And that's a properly functioning society. That's not a mob at that point. There's a dynamic that permeates the entire hierarchy that keeps the individuals, let's say, at the bottom of the hierarchy completely in touch with that smaller number of people who are at the top. And a well-functioning democratic political state has that nature, is that there's constant communication upward and downward, just like the way the brain is organized. The brain's a hierarchy, but information doesn't just propagate from the bottom up or from the top down, even with your visual system. So, for example, when information first enters your brain from your eyes, at the foveal level, each foveal, that's the center part of your vision that's high resolution. Every cell in your fovea is represented by 10,000 cells at the first level of visual processing. And so there's a tremendous amount of input from your eyes to your brain, bottom up. But even at the very bottom of visual perception, there's more top-down connections from your brain. So the visual system is hierarchical, but each level of the hierarchy communicates all the way down the hierarchy. And a good political system is structured that way. And so you can have a group of people that's not a mob. And it's a different way, it's a different organization. And a democratic polity is not a mob, not if it's functioning properly. And, it was something that was really brought home to me when I went to England, because I went into the lobby of the House of Parliament. It's this great domed building that's more or less at the center of the parliamentary cross. And that's where citizens of Great Britain can come and lobby to speak to their representative. So that's where the voice of the people meets the voice of the representatives. And that's how it should work, is in some sense there are emotions and concerns that are stirring in an inarticulate manner at the bottom of the hierarchy where the problems first manifest themselves, because they always first manifest themselves at the bottom of a hierarchy. And those problems aren't necessarily easy to articulate. And so people stumble forward with their concerns. And the job of their representatives is to take those stumbling concerns and aggregate them and to give them voice and to transmit them up the structures of power, to transform the laws into the new body of laws, which is what we act out to reconcile the bottom with the top. And that has to just happen continually, because it's like a living organism. Well, it is, in a sense, it is a living organism, because it's a meta-organism that consists of living organisms. So, for all intents and purposes, it's something that's alive. It really hit me in the lobby. That's where the word lobbying comes from, by the way.
So it happened there.
And people are cynical about lobbying, but people are cynical about lots of things, and it's not that helpful.
What's happening, people? If you enjoyed that, then press here for the full, unedited episode. And don't forget to subscribe. Peace.